All right, so today I want to talk about why you shouldn't pressure wash your carpet floor mats. These are really clean. You can see there's basically no dirt on them. I personally don't use carpeted floor mats in the winter because you literally attract so much salt on your dirt.
What?
In the winter that, even my rubber floor mats getting dirty like every single 5 seconds I'm in there. So I just cleaned them and all of a sudden they're full of salt again. Not a big deal. I just wanted to get into why I don't think you should pressure wash your carpeted floor mats, like I just said 2 seconds ago. So cut that out. The real big problem with pressure washing your floor mats when they're carpeted is the amount of time it takes for them to dry. You can kind of sample this yourself, even if you do like a heavy carpet extraction. It's going to be wet for like 3 or 4 hours after you're done, and that's not really an exaggeration. That's just kind of how it is, because these small fibers in the carpet really cling on to moisture, and so they need a lot of time to dry all the way through. The surface might feel a little bit dry, but it's not going to be dry if you like stepped on it. It'd like pool out some water. And that's with like really heavy amount of chemicals. If you have like a really dirty carpeted floor mat, you sometimes have to do that, and maybe then it would be okay to pressure wash it, but generally pressure washing it is a bad idea. I have 2 mats here and they're both clean already. Like I said before, I don't use them in the winter. Let's just pretend it was summer and these were dirty, and I'm gonna do one where I pressure wash it clean and with some chemicals, and then one where I just use the chemicals. And we're not gonna be comparing how clean they are, they're already clean. What we're gonna be comparing is really how long they are wet for. I think that'll be a kind of good baseline idea for you to expect. Like if you're doing a 2-hour detail and you pressure wash these floor mats, are they gonna be dry by the time you're done with the car or not? And so if you pressure wash them, it might take like 8 hours for them to dry. And because of that, you're not able to finish the detail properly because you can't put the carpeted floor mats in when they're wet, because then they're just gonna get moldy and everything's gonna become moldy. Enough rambling, let me get my stuff here. So to do this test, I'm gonna do a fairly simple test, just gonna use carpet cleaner and a carpet brush. And then for one of them, I'm gonna pressure wash and the other I'm not. Obviously there is gonna be some benefits to pressure washing that you wanna think about, such as the cleaning factor. Just like with the rubber and plastic floor mats, if you pressure wash them, they're going to look a lot cleaner than if you just scrubbed them and wiped them up or, whatever, extracted them. We're not going to really be comparing the cleaning factor, obviously, with this one, but just know that there is going to be some benefit to actually pressure washing them. But I think majority of the time, it's going to be a worse outcome because of the time it takes to dry. I'm going to spray them down each. Pretty lightly. I don't really want to go super heavy with it just because these are clean and they don't really need to be cleaned any more than they are. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pressure wash one of them, and then I'm going to see how long it takes for it to dry. And keep in mind it's probably about 45 degrees out here, so it's not super warm, but it's also not super cold. And so that might affect how long it takes to dry. If it's a nice sunny summer day, it's obviously going to dry a lot faster if you leave them outside than if it's a day like today. You got to keep, your environmental factors in mind when you're doing this, and really how much is it going to affect? I don't know. If you're doing like heavy extraction and you have to like basically shampoo the whole car, the car is going to be wet and the customer knows that. That's kind of an accepted thing. Like it's going to be just slightly damp for a while, and I mean like a long time. Unless you like leave your car open and air it out, then it'll dry within maybe 3-4 hours. But otherwise it'll take like way longer than that. And like I said, it really depends on the weather of the day. So if it's winter, good luck. Let's get to it. I'm also gonna grab just a microfiber towel. I'll just wait till I get back to you guys actually. Just grabbed a microfiber towel too, because once I'm done spraying and agitating, I'm just gonna wipe both of them up, and then the one I'm going to pressure wash and then wipe that up. So this one has one extra step, and that's going to be of pressure washing. It's a little unfortunate that I can't show you that it's going to clean any better or not. Maybe I'll demonstrate that at a later date, maybe more during the summertime. I just wanted to do this video because I think it's kind of something I've had opinions about for a little while now. All right, so first carpet cleaner. Normally I'd use like some stain remover too and stuff, but we're just going to simplify this process. Whoa. So you can see they're both pretty well like doused and stuff. So we're just gonna wipe them up. But this one I'm gonna be pressure washing. So we'll set this one on the side, this one I'll wipe up. I actually sprayed these pretty heavily, so it's actually probably pretty good that I did that because it'll be a better comparison. All right, let's get the other one pressure washed. Just gonna see if I can do it right here. Oh, whoops. I'm gonna do this on the ground. Actually, no, I'm not doing it on the ground, screw that. All right. So it might seem a little excessive on the spraying there, but I just really wanted to get all that cleaner out. When I wasn't seeing it soap anymore, I knew it was clean. I did spray this one a little bit. I should have probably moved it, but this side over here is pretty much like normal. Not really sure where to start with this, but I guess I'll just wipe it up. I guess you could probably extract it after, but you know, I don't really want to do that. Kind of just want more of like a speed comparison, because this one I just wiped up. Extracting takes a lot longer and is a lot more arduous of a process. So we just want to do a similar process in terms of time consumption, because that's also an important factor when it comes to cleaning. So this thing's soaked. I'm gonna grab another pad real quick, another micro. Actually looking at this, it's actually looking really good, which I was expecting. There's no cleaner in there, which is great, just water. If we put like air freshener on this, it might be like lasting for way longer than if we used it on this format. So pressure washing might actually have a good effect on some of the other pieces of equipment. And this thing's freaking heavy now though. Like, boom, just like, it sounds like an explosion just went off. Here, listen, I'll do it again. Yeah, so there's still obviously a lot of water in it. I used 2 microfiber towels, they're fully soaked now, but this one is pretty much good. So now that we got them both cleaned and we're just letting them dry, I'm just gonna give it some time. Not sure how long I wanna give it, but I don't wanna be waiting all day for this, to be honest. So I'm gonna give it like, I don't know. I'll let you guys know when this one's done. I'll come back to you. It's basically dry. Like if I put this back in the car, like right after I was done doing it, the customer wouldn't even noticed that I did anything to it. But this one, yeah, it's got like 20 extra pounds of water on it. And you can just feel it. Like, look at how it just, like there's, I don't know, you guys can't see anything probably, but there's tons of water leaking out of it. Like you saw that at least. Also, this new workbench, kind of nice. I like it. Nice, it folds up really well. It's got some, you know, I think it's meant for like routing and cutting and stuff, but I'm not really doing much woodworking at the moment, so just using it for the good old car detailing. Let me give this one some time to dry, and you know, depending on how long it takes, I'll let you guys know, and then we can go from there. Huh? Update, 15 minutes, completely dry, soaking wet. All right guys, so just recorded this. I don't know what's going on today, but for some reason I can't record correctly at all, anywhere, any day. Just gonna get depressed. Basically just said it's been about an hour now. It's about 2:30 and I started having this dry at 1:30 and it's still wet. You can see there's a big stream of water still coming out, and I've just been letting these lay here in the sun. It's nice and warm on an elevated surface for an hour, and it's still sopping wet. It doesn't feel too wet on the surface, but you can see as soon as I touch it, there's those handprints there, and that's because the water coalesces in those points. And so it looks like there's still a lot of water there. You know, I wouldn't feel comfortable putting that back into a car just because there's that risk of mold forming because of the amount of moisture in the carpet floor mat. And then also, you know, if water sits too long and there's certain bacterias, you know, it's a perfect environment for bacteria to grow, and so mold will grow too. Man, I just spent like 20 minutes talking and it wasn't recording at all. I'm so sad. But you can see there's really not a big difference between the 2 floor mats in terms of clean. Obviously these were really clean beforehand, so it's not like there was going to be a big difference. So I'm really curious to see if when we get like really salted gross floor mats, if that pressure washer can kind of take care of business or not. Personally, I would not be comfortable doing this on an actual detailing job unless I had a way to actually make sure the carpeted floor mats were gonna be dry within my 2 hours or whatever time I spend doing the detail. Because if this takes an hour and it's still sopping wet like this, we got at least another 3 hours before it's probably dry enough where I'd want to put it in the car. And you could call me a baby, I don't care. It's just how I do things, all right? So yeah, this one's basically 100% dry at this point. Like there's literally nothing going on with it. Like I would have been comfortable putting that in the car right away, and I'm comfortable putting it in now. So the good old tried and true process of just using the carpet cleaner along with a microfiber to wipe it up, or maybe even an extractor, depending on how much cleaner you use, is gonna be a great method, and it's consistent, and it's not gonna bloat your carpeted floor mats with water and make it 20 pounds heavier than it is normally. I hope I was able to kind of show you guys, you know, that you don't really need to pressure wash your floor mats to get them clean, especially for the carpeted ones. Obviously for the rubber and plastic, pressure washing them is still gonna be your best bet, and that's because the plastic and rubber don't really absorb water. So you can usually just shake them off and then they'll dry within like 30 minutes or so. And then you can put them back in the car really, really safely without having to worry about, you know, extra random moisture being there. This is just a focus on the carpeted floor mats. And I've seen a lot of people lately being like, yeah, I love pressure washing my carpeted floor mats. It makes it so easy to clean. Hold up. Woo! I just kind of wanted to bring a counterpoint to it. I don't think it's a bad method of cleaning. Obviously, if you have really gross carpets, that could actually be a really big, easy way to clean them, and do a good job. But I think for the majority of carpeted floor mats, you're gonna have a really good time just using a normal carpet cleaning method without totally saturating the carpet with water. And you'll be able to close up your detail a lot faster as a result because you're not waiting, 3 or 4 hours for it to dry. And I've seen people be like, yeah, I'll hang them up. They might dry faster that way. Or maybe, I'll do X, Y, Z. It dries in 2 hours. And that's still on the heavier end of drying time for me. I'd want them to be dry within an hour personally, just because usually an interior takes me anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. So I want that consistent timing with things. And so doing this pressure washing method isn't really for me, but I could definitely see it does have its advantage in probably the ability to actually clean the surface. And I've never really run into a carpet of any kind where I would need to pressure wash it in order to get it clean. Usually the drill brush carpet cleaner combo does the trick. But if you are having a hard time, maybe this pressure washing method will actually be like a hidden secret and you'll be able to get really good results with it. I have no idea. Like I said, not gonna be doing it myself, but you're more than, welcome to give it a shot. And maybe it's really warm where you're at and it's able to dry within 2 hours just laying down. So, but for me, it's like around 50 here. It's super sunny. It's kind of a nice day, honestly. It's really nice. But it's still not dry after an hour, and that's, something I can't deal with, especially on a real detail. I freaking love making videos about floor mats. Like, look at these. They're just so much fun. Okay, I guess they aren't that much fun for you. Like I said, I'm just gonna stick with my classic cleaning method of just using the carpet cleaner, drill brush, and wipe up combo. Works great and does the trick. Obviously, you can still use an extractor if you're going with heavier amounts of water, and maybe I could even use the extractor on this one that I soaked through, and it would probably dry faster. But then you also gotta consider using an extractor takes a lot of time, and so, there's that give and take there. How much time do I really want to spend on this before I just want to call it a day? You gotta wage, time as a factor. It's just as important as the cleaning factors. Like, sure, you could do hourly rates, but I don't like to surprise people with an extra hour of work randomly or something. So I'm gonna stick with my method, do a good job, and not destroy carpeted floor mats with tons of water. Obviously, this isn't destroyed, but you know what I mean. And yeah, hope you guys, kind of learned a little bit of something. I've been trying to do a little bit more comparison videos just so you guys can see the difference in different techniques, because I feel like when it comes to detailing, everyone has a different way of doing something, whether it's good or bad or whatever. It doesn't matter to me too much, but I just hear people say their way is the only way to do things, and that's not necessarily true. There's a 1,000,002 ways you could clean something, and some things might be better, some things might be worse, but generally, most of the methods are gonna yield the same result and the same type of finish. So these are going to basically be the same once they're both dry, but the problem is, this one's taking a lot longer to dry, and that's, kind of a problem for someone who's doing a 2-hour detail before their next appointment. So this is more floor mats, having so much fun like I mentioned earlier. Woohoo! Floor mats. I know you guys are probably sick of seeing floor mats and car washes, but whatever. Yeah, it's good stuff. I don't know what I'm trying to think about. So yeah, if you have success with using a pressure washer, let me know. I'd love to hear some methods for helping them dry maybe a little faster or something. I would think if you hang dry them, it'd probably be, cutting an hour off. So maybe it's 2 hours, 3 hours to dry instead of 4. But, just sitting here, even on an elevated surface, it's gonna take 3 hours before, or 4 hours before this is even dry. So there's still tons of water coming out. I don't think I missed anything, but if I did, I'll hear it in the audio recording without any video. So, geez Louise, dang it. This is the 3rd time, in the last day that I've, whatever. All right, guys, I'll leave it here. Get outside, have a good day. All right, so a little update for you guys. It's been about, how many hours? It's been a lot of hours. It's been about 4 hours and these things are still soaking wet. You know, they've been inside. It's pretty warm in here and hasn't been too sunny. So if you are gonna do pressure wash on your floor mats, just be prepared because these things do not dry easily at all. I love you guys.